Welcome, welcome. So, would you like to just introduce yourself, tell us a bit about Kind, and then tell us a bit about the brand challenge that you're putting out there?
Awesome. Well, hi everyone, I'm Grace, lovely to meet you all. I work on the brand, in the brand team across the EMEA region, so focused on innovation as well as our brand campaigns, and I'll pass you over to Esther.
Hello, good morning. I'm Esther. I am Digital Brand Manager at Kind across the EMEA region, across social, content, creators, influencers, so super excited to be here today.
And hi guys, I'm Jena. I'm the brand manager here at Kind Snacks for the UK team. So I look after all our kind of like taste activation, but also our kind of field marketing as well. So yeah.
Great. And Jena, do you want to tell us, explain a little bit about Kind and Mars, and then tell us about your challenge?
Yes, so before we dive straight into it, I basically want to kind of take some time to explain like who we are as a brand and like why we're here today. So essentially for us, Kind is more than just a name. It's a commitment to making snacking that doesn't compromise. So we believe in kind of with snacking, you shouldn't have to choose between nutrition and taste. You can in fact get that both within a Kind bar. Our recipes only use like nutrient-dense ingredients, and also we pack loads of flavour into our bars. So all our kind of commitment is that our promise is that our bars are completely nutrient-dense. The number one ingredient is nuts. We are completely gluten-free, and we are high in fibre as well. So essentially, we have all the flavour and nothing to hide. So why we're here today is basically to explore how we're going to unlock London. So as a brand, we've grown through our kind of driving trial through sampling, but also we have kind of maintained our presence as the number one single snack bar in the UK through our kind of field investment. So at Kind, we have a targeted city strategy, which basically involves maximising both physical and mental availability through driving trial, but also volume and penetration, helping us become unmissable in those city centres. So where we activate is London, Manchester, Bristol and Glasgow. And here we bring together our kind of four kind of pillars of activation. So that's our out of home, our paid social, our sampling and our field sales as well. So here we really want to grow our regions 1.5 times faster than the rest of the UK. But with London, we've really kind of struggled to hit that just because of the sheer scale and size. So here, you know, we really want to come here today to hear from the different kind of brands and try to inspire us to see how we're going to really unlock London, but also how we're going to hit this goal continuously. So with that, I want to pass back to Serena, and may the best team win.
Brilliant, thank you. Round of applause for the Mars team. Please sit back down. So they will be putting their judging hats on now and really scrutinising our pitches. And I actually think this challenge is really interesting and really unique. We've not had one quite like this ever before, I think. So guys, you're in for a ride. So the first startup you'll meet, they know a thing or two about localisation. It's all in the name. Please welcome Caroline from Locala. Oh, you're over here.
Hi everyone, so I'm Caroline, I'm managing the UK activity for Locala, and today we're going to talk about location. So Locala is a location-based advertising platform, and we're here to understand who your users are, how they behave in the real world to tailor your approach locally and crack the London market. Let me see if So at Locala, we really believe that in order to be successful in a highly dense location like London, you really need to connect the who and the where. And we do that in our platform by leveraging a variety of data signal from cross-visitation, where they shop, purchase behavior, where they buy, and brand affinity. Do they like your brand already, or do they shop with other brands as a primary source of purchase? We also know the impact of the audience. So at Locala, we believe that if you want to connect the who and the where, you need to understand the real-world behavior and challenges of your audience and how they behave all together. So in our case, if we look at family, grocery shopper or sports enthusiasts, where they are, how do they behave, what they trigger in order to communicate to them more efficiently. And we do that by leveraging mobility data So as you can see on the map, all of the area in orange are the area where we see a high concentration of your target audience. In our case, it's grocery shopper, just to be reflective. The darker the area is the area with the highest concentration, and the lighter the area where you shouldn't invest your media budget just yet for that target audience. And then once we know where they are, we overlay sales data to understand if the concentration of your target audience translates in sales and physical conversion. Really. And then that's where it starts. So once we know where they are, where your sales, we really start segmenting the local market to really talk to your consumers one-on-one. So if you look here, we will start by refining the areas in London to only find the area with the highest concentration of your target audience and the highest sales, or where you need to maintain market shares. So we remove all of the area where really you shouldn't invest your media budget. We're very granular, so we can tell you like, North Kensington you shouldn't invest, but South Kensington you should, for example. Then once we know where they are and in high concentration, we overlay multiple media, so whether it is desktop, mobile, digital outdoor, CTV, or audio, and we understand what is the most optimal media mix to activate at a local level to communicate to your target audience and drive conversion. And then the most important part is the step 4 is optimization. London is so competitive, it's such a highly dense market. You need to optimize each of the channels that you activate at a local level in real time towards your KPI if you want to be successful and top of mind. Now, we know where your audience is, we know how to reach out to them locally, but we need to have a very tailored omni-channel creative strategies. So we have a team of designers in-house that can support with any of the challenge, all included, but I don't know if they will play. No, unfortunately they don't play. I will send them to you afterwards, but we really want to drive engagement, so interactivity is first, giving the users a choice, giving them information about your brand, all of the components in the different bars to really drive engagement and interest for your consumers. And once you have done all of that, you need to measure, because you can activate the best campaign if you don't know the results. How do you know if you need to repeat it? So at Locala, we measure the impact of every single channel you activate at a local level towards your key KPI, whether it is driving consumers to your retailer stores, driving consumers to sampling station or event, we do a lot of that, or measuring sales uplift, and sometimes all of them at once, because that's really important. So if you have to remember one thing to crack the London market, it's really understanding your audience, who you want to target, segmenting the London market. Don't try to tackle it all at once. Have a really tailored creative approach and measure everything from footfall uplift, engagement in ad, and sales uplift. I don't know if you have any questions. I went through it very quickly.
Thank you, Caroline. Yes, please. Round of applause for Caroline. Kind team, do a couple of you want to come up with any thoughts, questions? So super, super localized targeting. Love that. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Thank you. That was very, very insightful. I just would love to know a little bit more about how you get the data to start with, because it seems like it's super specific, and I just would love to understand a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we collect location data, so GPS, with the accuracy of very precise location, the most precise that you can in the technology. And then we also leverage device ID for the unique users. But the collection of the data is one thing, is how we ingest it in our platform. So we have mapped out all of the stores available, and we track how people behave. So we look at mobility in a store, whether they spend enough time. So when they're a visitor, they have to be in store for a certain duration before we classify them as a visitor. We look at where they travel from. We look at really how they behave rather than just the location signal, and compute it in our platform. So that's how we do it.
Awesome. Thank you. Any thoughts?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It looks like an amazing way to target London. How simple would it be to scale that if we wanted to target a next city? Would we sort of be able to pick it up and drop it?
You can replicate. The only difference is we will look at the local landscape. So we might say like, oh, there's less reach or more reach, or maybe you need more audiences, but it's we're fully global. The only market we can't help you with is China. But outside of that, we can help you in all of the markets, and we do a lot of hyper-local is really what we do across the world. So yeah.
Thank you.
And do you have any examples of like other brands that's worked really well?
Yeah, absolutely. I can send you a lot of case studies afterwards showing like sampling, driving to reseller stores. We work with a lot of brands that sell in supermarket or convenience store, so we can show you how we measure the impact easily.
Great, amazing, thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you. That was brilliant.
Thank you, Caroline from Locala. Next up, we have a team who've got a really cool virtual idea for Mars. Helen from Savvy, do you want to come and tell us more? Round of applause for Helen.
Hello, everybody. Well done for making it to day 3. My name's Helen. I'm from Savvy, and we do all things promotional marketing. About 2 years ago, we launched mobile coupons into the marketplace. Since then, they've been going from strength to strength. And we know from the research that we do, consumer research every year, around 76% of people are more willing to trial a new product, MPD, or something they've never tried before if there was a mobile coupon associated with it. That figure goes up to 84% if you're looking at Londoners alone. So we know that mobile coupons are very, very attractive for people to use. So bear that in mind when I take you through our response to the brand challenge today. So just to quickly recap, we know that Mars and Kind, they want to unlock London, raising sales value, growing share, brand purchase consideration and brand awareness. So we know it's really, really difficult to cut through all of the many, many messages over multiple channels that we're seeing constantly throughout the time. So what you need to do is something that is really going to disrupt the person's behavior. And what we propose to do there is something that we call a virtual vending machine. What is a virtual vending machine? Let me show you. So my mobile phone. Right, so what I'm going to do is use a case study for a campaign that we did last year with Coca-Cola, using the virtual vending machine to really walk you through how that works. So as we've all seen that lovely marketing funnel, we all know that well. First of all, let me see if I play the video. Well, is it going to work? Fantastic. So first of all, you need to build awareness. And what Coca-Cola wanted to do, the Gen Zs, they knew that if people tried Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, they loved it. But Gen Zs weren't actually buying it. So what they wanted to do was to encourage Gen Zs to buy. So first of all, they're building awareness. And they did that through social media and social media influencers actually going through the consumer and user journey. Once you've grabbed their attention, you need to capture with a bit of a hook. So in this case, Coca-Cola were giving away a free sample, a free bottle of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. What you've done, so what they did was scan a QR code in a piece of out of home. First of all, sorry, let me just skip back. With those influencers, this was a national campaign. Obviously, we're trying to unlock London here. So what we propose, very much like your the previous guys on stage, use geo-targeting to very specifically locate and serve ads specifically to the right demographic in the right areas. You can also use geo-targeting to understand exactly where the digital out-of-home screens should be displayed and therefore maximizing your media spend. So then, anyway, we've scanned that QR code. We've then used interactive digital out-of-home screens where they interacted with it. A virtual bottle of Coke was then placed on their hands. So they've got that interest, it's fun, bit of a gamification, it's attracting people. But then we've got to nudge them on to make that decision and then take action. So what we then did was created a store locator delivered directly to that mobile phone. So the person that's just interacted could then look on their phones and understand exactly what stores in their local area and local vicinity had a Coke Zero Sugar that they can then go in to redeem. So what are the results, I hear you cry? Let's show you what happened here. So it was extremely popular. We had over 30 million out-of-home and online views of it. Of those, 278,000 people scanned that QR code from the out-of-home screen. 173,000 of those then activated that coupon. And then, amazingly, 118,000 people actually took that mobile coupon into store and redeemed a Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. That equates to a 68% redemption rate. Now, we've been doing mobile coupons for a couple of years. Redemption rates are usually around 25-30%. So you can see that that is a huge figure, and probably why I'm talking to you about it today. Not only that, part of the brief was for increased brand consideration, and we found that from the research that we've done from the focus groups as post that campaign, increased consideration, brand consideration of 53% post that campaign. 37% of people were likely to choose Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, and a huge 26% would then recommend it. So I think you'll find that this campaign is the kind of campaign that we think would work well for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause for Helen. Guys, do you want to come up and ask Helen any questions? Or so, virtual vending machine, how cool is that? And I love that you're actually driving people into shops to purchase. What are your thoughts?
Well, that was brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with us. I thought it was really interesting how you said at the beginning that 84% in London are more willing to try if they have a coupon, which I didn't know. It's really interesting. And at Kind, we know that I think 86% of people, when they do try us, do really like the product. So it was a great way to see how sort of we can tie it all in. For our brand, we are smaller scale than Coca-Cola. So how do you see that working with influencers and interest? Because we have a bit more of a job to do on the awareness. So have you worked with the smaller scale brands?
Yeah, absolutely. It's completely scalable. This was Coke. It was a huge campaign for them. But we've still used influencers. We did a campaign for Smug Dairy, and they used Lad Baby as an influencer, and they just did a piece to camera, sampling it. There was a link to a mobile coupon in their feed, and then those people could go away and do it. So smaller scale, but still getting that reach using social media. You can use those out-of-home screens. You don't have to have all the interactive VR and everything that goes with it. A simple QR code will activate. So there's very scalable ways in which we can do it.
Thank you.
Amazing. We actually do work with Savvy. We use their kind of paper coupons, and I haven't actually seen this vending machine idea before, so it's really, really exciting that you have the capabilities to do that. I think for us, when you kind of go into that store locator piece, is it just targeted on grocery, or can it be to all retailers, like including like wholesale and everything?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it is dependent on what retailers will accept a digital coupon. We're still working on that and in progress. The major malts grocers absolutely will. When it comes to smaller independents, there are less ones that do, but absolutely it's about us having that conversation with the retailers to say, will you accept it? If they do, we've got that technology. It's all possible. It's about having those conversations and where you want to activate.
Great, amazing. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause for Helen. Now, yeah, do that. So, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this wonderful purple cow who is being wheeled quite fast in my direction. Does the cow have a name? Is Bessie? No. Mona Lisa. Brilliant. I don't know what the link to the purple cow is, but hopefully Sean will come up and tell us a bit more about MLP and their solution for Kind. Come on up. Got the clip.
Hello everybody. It is so great to be here, and it's great to be talking about this with you. Just before I go into our Purple Cow and MLP, there were a few things about this challenge that we were really, really excited about. Growing London, maximising physical and emotional availability, and really making Kind unmissable. So, MLP is a full-service incentives, rewards and loyalty agency. We handle the strategy, the tech stack and the delivery behind some of the UK's biggest loyalty programs. But what's key for this is that our mission is always to create positive emotions at every stage of the customer journey. And we want to ensure that all of our clients and all of their customers have an amazing experience with us through a culture of really caring. So while this challenge sits a little bit outside of our heartland of loyalty, we really think we can add some value with this. That's us. So when considering this challenge and with that in mind, it was quite important to think about some of the stereotypes of London. Now, I was expecting some boos here, but I feel like I can say this as a Londoner who now works up north. For context, we're based in a cowshed in Cheshire, which is why we have Mona Lisa with us. But one thing that really struck me when I started working up in the north is the amount of kindness that people spread just naturally. Hi, how are you? Good morning. Something you wouldn't often see in London. So our main response to this challenge is to really spread kindness and spread positivity and actually celebrate the benefits of being kind. So research shows that giving really increases oxytocin, which is really good for your health, just like a kind bar. So with that in mind, we have two similar responses to this challenge. The first is iconically London. Everyone relates to Mind the Gap. We present you Kind the Gap, and we're really encouraging customers to share acts of kindness. We want to put it in almost subliminal places, but catching customers where they're at their most receptive. They're on the tube home or to work, and they're hungry. It's the perfect place. What's key here is they can scan the QR code and it takes them through to a microsite that is managed and hosted by us. They're able to redeem a free kind bar, or better yet, they're able to donate that bar or its value to someone who needs it more. With homelessness and hunger on the rise in London, there's never been a better time to share kindness. Our second concept is similar. Welcome to the Kind Kitchen. We want to take customers through a QR code onto a personalized quiz where they can answer a few questions. What's your go-to snack time? What's your favorite nut? What's your ideal flavor? And they can be matched to their perfect kind bar, personalized to them. Once again, they're given the opportunity to claim their bar or donate it to a food bank, spreading kindness and giving it to someone who needs. We want to put these adverts in the foodiest places in London, Borough Market, Spitalfields, even here in Brick Lane, and get that message in front of customers when they're at their most receptive. Scan the QR code, take the quiz, and have the option to donate the bar and get some oxytocin. So what we really want to do is spread kindness and positivity and celebrate the benefits of being kind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Round of applause for Sean. What a cool idea. I've just been speaking to the Mona Lisa, and she really likes the caramel nut kind bar. Kind team, come on up. Any questions? Really interesting ideas there. Any questions for Sean?
Thank you. That was brilliant. Really appreciate it. I guess something that I would really love to understand a bit more about is the first concept is super cool and very relevant to London. Obviously, as Jena mentioned at the start, we do also want to make sure that we're activating in our other key cities. So do you think that there's a chance this could be scaled into other cities without the Mind the Gap concept?
Absolutely. It's finding the niche of the city and really personalizing that messaging to fit that and the customers there.
Great. Thank you.
Great. And the concept of Kind the Gap was all about sampling, but you're kind of a brand loyalty agency. So what other kind of elements do you bring into your activations?
So we run activations with a suite of our clients, and like I say, it's all about positive emotions. So while our heartland is loyalty programs and giving rewards, we can really bring that into activations.
Okay, amazing, thank you.
Great, thank you. Round of applause for
Thank
Sean
you
and the
very
Khan team. All right, we're getting through them, guys. Loads of different ideas. Next up, we've got a guy who wants to turn London into a massive virtual treasure hunt. Let's hear from Toch and Picked.
Hi everyone, I'm Toch and I'm a co-founder at Pict. What we do is we turn traditional marketing into interactive, playable brand campaigns. So, we're here today to show you how Pict as a solution can actually help Kind. So, first of all, it's really important to understand the modern consumer. The modern consumer, of course, is digital first. They discover through social platforms, you name them, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it is. However, one of the things that we have found is that they do crave these interactive, immersive experiences. Now, the issue is that people are just genuinely bored. People are genuinely bored with traditional marketing. And there's a big difference between attention and interaction. These days, people have gotten so good at hacking attention. It's the same reason why probably like you doom scroll at night, for example, on Instagram for hours and hours. You just consume so much, but you actually don't interact with the things that you actually see. And that is what we want to change. So for example, Kind has made a really good job with location-based experiences that people can come and discover their brand. However, we have in our solution, we have a way that we can tie this all together. So what we do is, with Pict, we can make Kind playable. So how it works, you basically discover, collect, and win. Pict is an app made consumer first, where people kind of go on these like 3D scavenger hunts. The concept was actually inspired by Pokemon Go. So this is a quick video I filmed, just so you can see it in practice. So basically, that's that. So that's a very simple loop, and the thing that we do is that we can tailor the games depending on what the brand is looking for. So you can boost awareness, drive foot traffic. We have all sorts of different game modes, and they're very easy to deploy, and people actually really love them. So how we do see working in practice would be running a pilot with Kind, and during the pilot, what actually happens is that we basically take care of everything, build out the campaigns, reach out to like some creators, even some that we do work with, and in the background we'll basically be building a brand dashboard, a custom dashboard where Kind will be able to track all the metrics, understand how people move, how they discover their brand, and also be able to deploy these challenges as much as they want. It's going to be very simple to use. And the longer step after this is, once satisfied, if you ever think of making an app, whatever it is, we have the possibility of integrating into that so that this can really be an experience that you have and are able to offer to people. So basically, be kind to yourself. With Pict, we think that you're not just going to unlock London, but you can unlock a generation for a lifetime.
Thank you, Taj. Thank you. Do you want to come on up and tell us, Kind team, tell us, what do you think about the treasure hunt and floating massive Kind bars all over the place?
Well, thank you so much. That was so interesting. I've always thought it would be so fun to do a Kind treasure hunt, actually. So it's great to see it in real life, and I love the idea of making a game out of it. Once you've sort of targeted people and they've taken part in the game, how do you then convert them or keep them as part of sort of our wider Kind community?
The wider Kind, so the thing is that basically on our app we have like a brand home. So like people, what we see is that like, so people participate in these events, and then you can actually communicate with them, and then you can run as many challenges you want, and because it's really something that people like. So it's not just a one-off, but we think it can really be like a core part of the marketing experience.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you, that was really interesting. In terms of integrating creators into a campaign like this, would it be that you would brief creators to go and do the treasure hunt essentially and then create content around that, or how does that kind of integrate into this?
So yes, so we brief creators, and so one of the things that we do is that we work with creators, but we also work with micro creators, which we think that the reach is actually much better. And what we also do is like, we can have creators and also users launch their own challenges so that they actually share with their friends, and it makes people want to participate and feel closer to it.
Super interesting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tosh. And again, the Kind team. Thank you. How's MadFest doing? Are you all right? We've had 4 out of our 7 startups pitch. You guys doing okay? Alrighty. Next up, in keeping with the experience theme, we have a team who have the tech platform to enable really awesome experiences, and they also have a track record of increasing market share for their clients, so you want to listen to this. Please welcome Michelle from Experience This.
Hello, hi guys. Thank you so much for having me here today. So I'm Michelle, I'm the founder of Experience This. Okay, so brands grow by being easy to notice and easy to buy, but I also believe that they grow by creating these cultural moments and cues that really intercept that consumer in key occasions. Because, for example, when you think summer, you want to have an Aperol. When you go to the rugby, you have a Guinness. When you think of Easter, you eat a Lindt bunny. These brands have shown up consistently above the line and below the line in these occasions until consumers don't need reminding anymore. You just think of that brand. But it's really, really hard to activate consistently in such a way that actually you can create those cultural cues. And it's even harder in a place like London, which, as we've heard, the sheer size and fragmentation of it makes it difficult to get that cut through. Now, I've spent my entire career working for consumer goods brands like yours in the shopper marketing space, the customer marketing space, the commercial space. So I know firsthand that it's not a lack of great ideas. You guys already have, I'm sure, brilliant creative teams, brilliant brand insights. The challenge is how you drive your corporate machine, your sales teams, your agencies, your B2B partners and route to markets to put on a cohesive execution and distribution strategy so that consumers can find you easily, spot you easily, and create those consistent cultural moments with your brand. And the reason I think this is so challenging and something I've spent 6 years working through is manual processes. Traditionally, activations are orchestrated by spreadsheets, trackers upon trackers upon trackers, manual emails out to customers. It's really, really hard to know where you're activating, let alone what worked and what didn't. And that is where Experience This comes in. So we are not a creative agency, we're not an execution agency. We are a brand execution technology. So we have been purpose-built for consumer goods brands like yours to automate the booking, management, and measurement of all of your brand activations. And it's very much born from my personal experience working for consumer goods brands in this space. So we exist to make your activations land every time as efficiently, effectively, and sustainably as possible. So the case study I wanted to bring to you today was from Guinness over in Ireland. They came to us with a challenge that they wanted to drive more occasions for their brand and actually recruit in more women. So they wanted to show up in places outside of rugby and St. Patrick's Day. And like you guys, they had brilliant creative insights, brilliant consumer insights already, but their challenge was actually how they showed up consistently in a way that made impact. So they identified that women would be likely to drink their brand in certain locations. They identified new occasions like horse racing, paint by the pints masterclasses, quiz nights that they wanted to try to drive these new associations for women. They onboarded them onto the platform and they put in place targeting based on the segmentation, based on the key moments that they wanted to drive at key times of the year. And their sales team, therefore, throughout the year, were really clear, where do I need to drive these activations? What outlets would be right for this? How do I tailor this to make it really impactful in the space? So they were going out, really clear on what they needed to do, booking in the activation, and then through our automated workflows, this was sending off approvals for budgets, agency brief, communication to the customers to get them really engaged and clear what's happening, and then tracking it so we understood what worked, what didn't, and linking it through to their sales data. Now, they drove 10,000 new occasions for the brand that year, and they grew 4.8% market share, which, as you can imagine, Guinness, Ireland, they already had such a huge market share. This was a huge amount of growth for such a big brand. But they didn't stop there, because their customer marketing teams, their sales teams, they didn't just look after one brand. So to achieve true efficiency, it's important to replace all manual workflows. And so they then went on to onboard all customer marketing programs across all brands. We've now activated 50,000 activations in Ireland. We saved their teams 1 day a week, and we've driven £17 million of savings for them to date. So, moving on to you guys at Kind. So, our mission is to make you unmissable through strategic, efficient, effective execution. You guys are already activating. We're here to make your money work harder. So, The idea here is to make your above-the-line strategy cohesive with your below-the-line strategy. So let's imagine that you are focusing on commuters and the sporting occasion. So above the line, your creative can work its magic, but below the line, we want to make sure each borough is mapped with visibility and distribution cues so that each commuter can't fail to miss your brand. Perhaps they're sampled in the station, and then every retailer they go in has really clear visibility and distribution. Perhaps the people going to the Wimbledon this week, again, they're seeing a really impactful touch point in the station, they're sampled on their way in, and they've got their kind in their bag to keep them fed throughout the day. And every time they go to Henman Hill, again, making sure that we're showing up at those key moments to drive that association. So, our technology will enable this in a few ways. Your sales teams or your B2B partners, they'll be really clear on where they need to drive these activations and at what time of the year. So deadlines, target lists, recommendations. This will help ensure a really cohesive strategy across the boroughs that drives results. You'll also be able to deploy more effective and efficient execution by allowing them to tailor the activation from your toolkit to make sure that each key touch point is delivered effectively. So everything from the right visibility items to putting on the right promotion will be all handled through the platform. You'll be able to repurpose the assets that you've got already through the platform, so getting maximum use out of each asset that you're using. And then, of course, we'll be able to capture all of the feedback, all of the sales data to understand what's working and what isn't, so that you can then keep evolving and get really amazing results. So this is a technology, really, that digitizes your team's current processes and enables a smarter way of working. As a result, brand activations will efficiently and effectively be scaled across London, always consistent, relevant, and ROI focused. Kind should become a key part of those daily rituals that you want to own as their new favorite snack. And once we've proved it out for Kind, there is a plug-and-play system there ready for all of your brands across Mars to deliver true efficiency and effectiveness for your teams. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Kind team, do you want to come up? Any questions for Michelle? She wants to completely revolutionize and make you more efficient. Isn't that great?
Thank you. That was really interesting. We're definitely super keen on the consistency element and really want to make sure that we're focusing on that across all of our different touch points. One question that I had was, you mentioned becoming part of a ritual or like a specific moment. Is that what you see for Kind, the commuter or the on the go? Is that the kind of aspect that you would go after?
Well, we're not the creative agency or the execution agency, so we'd be working with your agencies already in place. But yes, let's say you wanted to own the commuter. Where we can support is taking that commuter activation that you've dreamed up and making sure it's consistently applied into the right places in the right ways, and then capture all the data to say, do you know what, it didn't quite land in this one because of these elements, and therefore we'll tweak that for the next one, make the ROI even better. So our technology really just helps scale your concepts.
Super clear, thank you.
Great. And how easy is it to kind of onboard all the agency partners? Because we work with quite a wide spectrum of different people. So managing those kind of stakeholders, things come up that you can't really prompt. So how good are you kind of at reacting?
Absolutely. Well, we work with Diageo, as you know, I believe it's quite a similar business. It has lots of agencies. So yeah, it's super easy. We handle all the onboarding for you. Actually, the technology does, so you've got, onboarding videos, trainings, all there available for them as well. And then the technology takes care of all that communication to all of the different stakeholders. So your budget approvers, your agencies, your brand teams, your commercial teams, they're all connected through the platform. They can all see what's going on. So for you guys, I imagine sometimes it's quite hard to even know where the activations have taken place. You've got a live calendar there. You've got a live tracker of all your activations. You'll be able to see where they're popping up on the platform. Are they working? What's the feedback? Let's make a quick intervention to make it better. So it's just bringing everyone together to make it cohesive.
Great, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Michelle and the Kind
you.
team. Right, guys, you may have noticed there were some Kind bars on your chairs as you came in. Hands up if you've already eaten them. Oh, well done, well done. Good discipline if you haven't. Now, our next startup have really sort of turned the pitch upside down. The Kind team have posed a challenge to them. What they're doing is posing a challenge back to London. So, Franco from XI, tell us more.
Hey everyone, we're building a technology supergroup, and I have the great pleasure of leading the experiential software platform, which I'm here to talk to you about today. Now, not only do I love Kind bars, genuinely, I'm also a bleeding heart Londoner, and I was really excited to work on this brief and put it through the lens of our product. Because over the years, I've lived in Caledonian Road, Clapham and Sutton, and to non-Londoners, this city can look like one single mass. But we know that it's really a series of villages, and they're all entirely special in their own way. The only thing that is similar, though, is that for the people moving to London, to one of its 32 boroughs, on arrival, you're now really from there. This quickly becomes a real source of pride, your London identity. You might be from Brazil, but now you live in Hackney, and that's pretty cool. Or you've moved from the Midlands down to Lewisham, so you really know what's going on in London, if you ask them. So for this campaign, we want to use this uniquely London spirit to build a gamified, citywide kindness tracker using our platform so that people can be proud not of how cool their area is, but of how kind the people are. So how are we going to do this? XPass is the software platform to deliver brand experiences, fan zones, and festivals across multiple cities or even countries. And if you need to get tens of thousands of participants into a single ecosystem, our suite of applications are designed to take mass registrations, take part in games and content experiences in both physical and online spaces, and allow us to trigger dynamic live displays and unlock consumer rewards. And in case this was a question at the end, we already have integrations in place with most CRMs like Salesforce and HubSpot, so that if you want to build that community after the campaign is finished, we've got all that consented first-party data that we can share directly with you. But for now, let's hone in on the dashboard that's going to be the focal point of this campaign. We use our web-based microsites. We don't ask anyone to download anything. No one's got time for that. But we create a hub, which means people can access the wider experiences that are on offer. From here, we can release daily challenges via email or SMS, and we can drive repeat usage over that campaign period and get people to share it with further participants. So we'll challenge users to upload UGC or play mini games on a daily basis based on the brand pillars of kindness, and ultimately connect the different points of your existing 4 marketing pillars. These will be randomized by person so that it feels like everyone gets to play their own version of the game. Now, earning points can naturally generate offers and rewards, but the real message here is that people aren't playing for themselves, but they're playing to improve the score of their borough, because the pride of seeing your people win through kindness is far more long-lasting than a discount code. But how are we going to promote it? These are just some examples of the high-impact public displays that we've built that are triggered based on our interactions on our platform or on social media. For the budget on offer, we're going to get far more street level with this, 32 days across 32 boroughs, but an instant response for those who get to take part when they see their acts of kindness being promoted, and of course, irresistible earned press coverage along the way. If that wasn't enough, we can also tap in to our parent company's out-of-home networks to push the campaign as far and wide as possible from Hammersmith through to Merton. So to recap, we'll use all of our key applications to create a mass participation, personalized microsite that gamifies random acts of kindness, generating thousands of pieces of UGC along the way, leading to a citywide leaderboard, public displays, and reward distribution. So that is the real triple win: increasing brand equity, increased sales through retail, and increased consumer sentiment, ultimately increasing kindness along the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Franco. Kind team, come back up. Out of interest, which do you think is the kindest borough in London?
Well, having lived in the borough of Camden, I can say it's not that one.
Oh, I live in Camden. I'm lovely.
But I have loved it every minute I live there. So.
Okay. Kind team, over to you.
Thank you so much for presenting that. I think it's really exciting. What's your kind of engagement rate that you get with when you do events and everything like that?
So the engagement rate is astronomically high. because we're tracking people who have chosen to participate. So once they're into our ecosystem, we can measure absolutely all the activity that they do, whether that's the scores that they achieve, the UGC that they upload, or how many times that they share it. But yeah, it's typically as kind of high to 100% as possible because they've already chosen to take part, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
That was great to see. Thanks for sharing. And I love how equity kind of building it is and how you really link to our purpose. My question is similar to Jenna's, but how do you incentivize people to take part? Do you need to give them freebies or?
Yeah, so having a kind of guarantee of reward is a real surefire way of getting people to take part. But ultimately, it's being able to kind of understand the idea of social proof from 100 meters away, or from seeing it on some sort of advert, or even a digital advert, so that people instantly understand what they're meant to do and what they're going to get out of this kind of value transaction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kind and Franco. We could use that, please. Right, we are at our last pitch, guys. Well done for your stamina. Now we've got a team that will bring your product to life in a whole new way. Please welcome Ian from 3 Rock. There you go.
Thank you. Some pretty impressive acts to follow there. I was going to talk about my company for 3 minutes, hello Kind team, or show you loads of slides, but I'm not really sure that's going to do anything. So I've got a quick question for you. Unlocking London 1.5 times faster than the rest of the country. What's your biggest reason for that?
So London for us, obviously, it's, I think, 18 million people in comparison to the rest of the UK. So if we win in London, we essentially win in the UK. So that's why we're super focused there.
Okay, thank you. And what happens if you don't? What happens if it stays the same? What's the, what could happen there? Humour me, because you will achieve it.
I guess. Yeah, we'll probably get fired.
Well, we
I
can't
won't
have
be doing
that.
my job.
It's, I think doing more traditional media isn't the solution for you. Throwing more money at it isn't the solution for you. There's some interesting stats. 80% of all ads are forgotten instantly. There's a new study this morning, only 1 or 2% of adverts have any emotional connection whatsoever. So that's the big issue. I'll give you an example of something. A year and a half ago, I started meditation, daily meditation. It's completely changed my life, my well-being, my mental health. I've had issues over the years with that. But I started it at the age of 52. Something that's been around for thousands of years. It's always been available to me, but I didn't do it. And the reason for that is what I think the problem is for everybody. There's too much distractions, there's too much noise. And noise is the problem. Traditional ads are losing their effectiveness, okay? So I don't think your strategy is wrong, but what's the problem? How do you cut through the noise? We make 3D optical illusions, okay? They were looked at as gimmicks when they originally came out. The neuroscience behind it, and I've got loads of case studies which we can share with you, shows that a £1 investment placing our content will work as hard as £2.53 of the traditional ads you use, okay? There's millions of people in the country who should have Kind bars, you know? I'm going to show you a video in a second of how this can work. They don't know about them. They don't know what they taste like, what they look like, why it's good for them. Traditional media is getting cut out. Imagine a world where your advert stands out more than any other on the social media feed in the morning. Imagine your advert standing out more than any other advert on my journey to work, to the supermarket, in the supermarket. That would feel pretty good, right? This is how you do it. We've got so many stats, so many case studies. We're literally saving people millions. We're transforming results. We could get something ready for you in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks and 1 day, more people than ever will notice you. In 8 weeks and 1 day, more people than ever will remember you. We can transform everything. We want to win this, I'm not going to lie. If we don't, we definitely still want to come and see you. But we've got a solution which will deliver, and I'm very confident that we won't let you down. So I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Kind team, come on up. That was our last pitch, guys. So, what burning question have you got for Ian?
Thank you very much. The assets are very, very eye-catching. I just wanted to ask your opinion on the sort of modernity of 3D versus what we see a lot on social media, which is real people, lo-fi content that kind of people can relate to. So I wonder, do you have any insight into that, the performance of these versus that, or how we could maybe blend it a bit more seamlessly into our current content?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question which everyone asks. We involved a neuro consulting company last year because we knew our content looked good, but we didn't really know what it was doing. On average, 140% higher active attention when you compare what we make to a traditional ad for the same campaign. 140% better memory encoding. Nobody talks about the memory. That's what drives the purchasing. You can grab somebody's attention, but they can turn around and forget the message instantly. 80% of all ads are forgotten instantly. So I've got loads of data, loads of case studies which we can show you with scientific evidence that this is completely outperforming any traditional ads you might be looking at.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we've come to the crunch point now. Thank you, Ian. Leave that. Thank you. The Kind team have quite a difficult job to do now, and they have to sit and confer and decide who their winner is. We've had some great startups. Whilst they're doing that, I'm going to set you guys a challenge that's literally about kindness. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, be like Ian and meditate, and I want you to think of a kind message that you want to send to someone in the world, anyone in the world, someone who you know, someone who you don't know, a celebrity, a family member, a friend. And I'm going to come and ask you what your kind message is. So people that think at the back they're getting ignored, I'm going to come and jump on you. So I want to see everyone's eyes closed. I want you to think of a kind message for someone in the world. Who wants to share their kind message? Hands up, otherwise I will jump on you. Franco, have you got a kind message?
Yeah, I think that everyone who's taken time out of their busy weeks to come to the MadFest this week should be very proud of themselves, a bit of self-care after the madness and the heat and what will probably be very full inboxes. So be kind to yourselves over the next, the remainder of this week, and don't have to, stress all over the weekend to catch up.
Oh, thank you. So a kind message to everyone who attended MadFest. Anyone else? Anyone's got a little personal kind message they want to share? Anyone? All right, I'm going to share mine. My husband is currently at the gym, and he really hates the gym. And so what I've done, but he's going anyway, he's ploughing on, and I've actually packed in his bag 2 little kind bars because they are the best thing to have to refuel after a gym session that you really don't want to do. So my kind message to him is, I'm so proud of you, well done for getting your ass to the gym. Kind team, have you got a winner? Oh, I think they do. This is exciting. Come on up. Tell us a bit about what you think, and we will crown the winner any minute now. Round of applause for the Kind team and all our wonderful startups.
First of all, we should just say thank you so much to everybody that pitched. It was super insightful, and I feel like it's given us a lot of inspiration regardless. So we really appreciate the time. Do you want to, who's going to announce? Big winner?
Grace, do you want to announce the winner?
So we loved it. They were all very exciting. I feel like you've got me very excited to rush back to work and think of ideas. But our winner is the sort of pitch that felt like it really addressed the problem about the city approach, and we could scale it widely, and that was Locala.
Locala, come on up. Where are you? There you are, Caroline. Congratulations. We're going to have a quick photo op. And whilst we're doing that, it's just left to say a big thank you to everybody for coming. Don't go though, because not only do you get one brand challenge, you get two. There's one happening straight away on this stage, literally in 5 minutes, which is Can of Water, who've probably been keeping you safe and hydrated all the way through MadFest. Thank you very much, Kind team from Mars. Thank you, Locala, and all our wonderful startups. Thank you, MadFest audience. Goodbye.
Thank